Hey guys, Huzz here, bringing you another episode of League Discussion. This time we're going to be talking about the subject of ranked 5s. Now the first thing I want to say about this video is there could be several videos coming off of this one if you guys want it. Within this video we're going to be talking about two different groups, and that is a competitive team in ranked 5s, much like my own, and then just playing with friends, having a little bit of a muck around, which obviously is different. So the first thing I may know is I am in a competitive team, and I also have played with friends at different levels, and that is one of the biggest things that I get asked a question of is, you know, my friends we play 5s, we're all different levels, there's some bronze, silvers, golds, and we're getting, you know, communication problems or that type of thing. Now the first thing I want to say about that is, if you are a ranked 5s team and you are at different skill levels, you can't expect that much. And what I mean by that is you could have a challenger player in a ranked 5s team with all bronze players and he may not do well. Because the whole point, and the best way I try to explain to it is, I know here's a sport reference, so some of you may get lost in this, but if you're playing football, say American football, majority of you are probably American that are watching. If you're not American, you don't know American football, then I apologize. But you're the quarterback, you're an amazing quarterback, and your running back, you expect him to be somewhere, you know, where exactly would be perfect positioning, but your running back is not on the same page as you, so he doesn't go for the catch. And it just looks really idiotic for the quarterback because he's just thrown it in the middle of nowhere. So that is kind of the thing with League. You know, if you're a really good player, you kind of have expectations of, you know, players on your own team, and sometimes they may not fulfill them. Sometimes it may just be a bit of a dirt moment, or you're not on the same page, and that can happen, and has happened to me and friends, etc., that have, you know, played together. It's a fairly common thing to have in sport or esports, etc. If you are people of different skill levels, much like, you know, World of Warcraft, better reference for many of you, I believe. If you're a tank and it's an obvious thing to you that you're going to taunt the boss, now the other tank isn't on the same wavelength, so they taunt the boss back, there's miscommunication there. There's different skill levels, different approaches, which is never a good thing. So yeah, that's kind of the first thing I want to say, is make sure that you try to have as good communication as you possibly can. And one thing I do recommend to a friend group ranked 5s team is get the goals and objectives of the ranked 5s team right out in the open straight away. If you're going to play a ranked 5s game with your friends and you're all different levels, talk about it before you go into your first game. Say, right, we are all different levels here. Even if you have that one friend that may be bronze that thinks he's like platinum odd level, still have this conversation because it will help you in the long run. Basically, just talk about, we're all different levels. Some of us may have different expectations going into this. What are they? Get them right out in the open. One friend might say, right, I want to go and go for LOL every single week, do fairly well in it, which, you know, may be unrealistic. And then maybe another friend in the group's like, I just want to play LOL. I just want to play with my friends, muck around a little bit, maybe test out some weird champions, weird comps, have a good time. Just get that out in the open, and that should help you a fair bit, you know, avoiding arguments and the like, because that is a major thing that breaks up ranked 5s team, funny enough, is not knowing what you're all aiming for, and some people expecting too much and some people expecting too less. So yeah, get that in the open, and that sure will help. Now another thing the competitive side is, again, know your objectives if you're a competitive team. And now what do I class as a competitive team? I kind of class as a competitive team that you're all relatively high yellow players, so I'm talking about Diamond 3+ perhaps, and you're going to be entering tournaments weekly. You're going to be trying to get them, you know, good positions. You're going to be playing ranked 5s more than 3-4 times a week, and having a secure roster. That is a pretty, you know, part of it. You all have your role that you know you're going to be playing. That is a competitive team to me. And my biggest advice is get the goals and objectives out in the open. If you're a pure diamond team that you're right, we want to go for LCS. Say you're all diamond 1, high diamond 1 by the end of season 3. You're working your way back there now, which is obviously okay. We want to go for LCS. We want to get into Challenger Series qualifiers. Everybody needs to know that from the start. If you don't, then some people it may sound bad, but some people may not be playing as hard as they can. If they knew that that's what we're going for, then, you know, they may try that little bit extra, the 110%. instead of the 100%, which, you know, is kind of a thing, although many people don't think it is. Now, another thing with a competitive team is how active you are. It's a big part of being good in League of Legends. There's another thing, you know, in World of Warcraft, is how long you play is a pretty big correlation to how geared you're going to be. You know, if you're only raiding once a week, you're not going to be that geared. If you're raiding 4 or 5 times a week, the chances are you're going to be geared up quicker. It's the same effect of League of Legends, just skill-wise, really. The more you play League, the chances are the better you're going to have understanding of the game and the better you're going to be at the game. So the more you play rank 5s, the communication goes up, the synergy goes up, which synergy is one of the biggest things. Play duo queue with your rank 5s team. Just build a little bit of synergy outside of playing rank 5s. It's always good. Be friends with your competitive team. Make sure that you all bond and like each other. Always does help, especially if you're going to LANs, because although it's hard to say, but if you're not going to like each other in real life, the chances are that you won't mesh as a team in the long run. You've got to make sure that you have that connection straight away. And if, like, I've spoken to a few friends that have played in LANs, etc., and then sometimes they feel like, you know, they're just like long lost friends, or they've met, like, they've known each other the whole life as soon as they meet in real life, which is great. That's kind of what you want. So yeah, that's kind of like the first thing, is just make sure the goals of the team is out in the open, both for competitive and just friendly. As well as the active, you know, the more you play, the better you'll be, the more synergy you get. That is another factor. Tournaments is something that is potentially open to both different friend groups and competitive teams. I obviously would think competitive teams will be going for the higher places, and the friend group will just be doing something to, I don't know, kill the time, have a bit of fun with, etc. Now, Go for LOL is on the ESL website, and it's probably the most popular tournament on a weekly basis. And my team, Absolute Zero, does enter it every now and then. We used to go under the name Fighters in it, but now we are Absolute Zero. And, you know, we have a mixed result pool. We've sometimes got 4th, 5th round, sometimes 3rd if it's, you know, been a hard round for us. And it's a good thing to do. You know, experience is key when you're playing ranked 5s. So I would recommend pretty much to anybody, if you're playing ranked 5s, friends or just competitive, play Go for LOL. It's a really easy tournament to get into. There's a mixture of skills in that tournament. You know, some people are just pure silver teams, gold teams, platinum teams, and then you have, you know, high diamond teams, which my team was last season. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's a fun thing to do. You know, maybe I'm a rarity in the League community. I hope I wouldn't be, but tournaments are really good fun. When you have that feeling of beating somebody in a tournament, that is such a hype, like, in boost of emotion, whatever you want to call it. It just feels great. It feels better than ranked 5s. It feels better than solo queue, as it is a tournament. And even if you don't have anything to show for it, you don't win the tournament, you don't even place in the top 3, you just enter it and do a few wins, that is good enough. That will make you feel good, trust me. Now, scrimming is another thing that I want to briefly get into. Now, as I mentioned, just to say, this is kind of just an overview of a few tips that I find will help you kind of improve as both fronts. You know, getting that communication out in the open, what you want the team to do, etc., always does help. And I may do a video on each of these subjects, a separate video, just going into a little bit more depth of what you can expect. But scrimming is fairly important, and, well, it's fairly important when you get to a certain level. When my team right now, we have got people offering to scrim us, but we don't really see the need the majority of the time, because if we enter ranked 5s as our 5s team, we're against full Diamond 1 teams anyway, like, or, you know, that type of thing last season. So it doesn't really affect us. You know, LCS teams scrim because they don't want their strategies out in the open. So I don't know, it's fairly important if you get that level, you know, challenger, high level, that type of thing. But if you're just a basic team, you know, there's no need to scrim. Now, another thing I wanted to mention quickly is shot calling. When to do it, you know, is it a good idea, one person, etc. And yeah, shot calling is fairly important, and it doesn't always have to be just one person. It could be several. My team, a lot of people have asked, you know, what is my team shot calling reference? People want me to record rank 5s while we're playing, and I will be looking into that. We're still kind of working out kinks, but trust me, we have got a lot better. We're actually doing fairly well right now. But we kind of go into the fact of everybody can have an input, but at times of when we need a clear decision, only one person may really make that decision, and then we'll just agree on it, or one person will speak and we agree on it. And we don't really have one person that does that all the time. It's a mixture. I would say that I'm one of actually the quietest in the rank 5s teams, because you know, a lot of these guys are on the same wavelength as me, so I don't really need to put an input. You know, my input would be yes, I agree, or no, do something else. And if I do come up with an idea, I'll say it. But the majority of the time, you got Harpastor that likes to put an input, you got Fire that likes to put an input, and you got Roden and Vale. All of them like to put an input when I would just generally agree with it or disagree with it when needed. So I think that will be it for this video, guys. 10 minutes is around the time that I do these type of videos. So if you do want to have a separate video on a competitive team, you know, maybe showing you different tournaments that you can enter, maybe some LAN events, and such alike, then say the thingy below. And also I could do another video on further developing playing rank 5s with friends. So anyway, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Remember to like if you like it, and I'll see you guys next time.